Take me out on the water, way out in the woods, where the breathing is easy, the living is good. Out in the great outdoors.
Larry Smith Outdoors is brought to you by Warrior Boats, Vortex, Tub Hotels, Leroy's Meats, Bartline Barrels, Magic Products, Power Sports Company, Mike's Country Meats, Baronet Blinds, Drexel Building Supply, River's Edge Tree Stands, and the MRD Group.
Out in the great outdoors.
Hey everybody, I'll tell you what, we came over here to Power Sports today in Beaver Dam and we're looking at a new Kubota tractor. We've got so many projects going on up at our farm in Minnesota and here in Wisconsin. And you know what, we want to put in a bunch more food plots and enable for us to do all this, we need to have a new tractor and be able to get in there when the conditions are right. And that's a big thing, you can always have somebody else, come in and put food plots in and do work, but the problem is everybody's so busy, so it's kind of nice, and a lot of times these windows are short, when these food plots need to go in there, like right now we were going to go up there in the next week and we're going to put in a bunch of clover, but the problem is we have a lot of ag land around our food plots, and once they get in there and they plant these fields, we can't get back into them areas and plant anything because we would have to drive through the ag land. So again, timing is everything, and we've got a bunch of water holes we want to dig out. So a brand new Kubota tractor, I think we would really utilize that in a lot of different situations. I mean, in the winter, in the fall, in the summer, it's just a great piece of equipment to have when you want to get things done right. So we're up here, we're going to go in here and check out and see what they have. Hey Mike, I'll tell you what, I can't think of a better way to get projects done around the farm, around home, than a brand new Kubota tractor. We told everybody we're coming over here to Power Sports in Beaver Dam and we're picking up a brand new Kubota tractor. Let's kind of explain to everybody why we decided to go with this model here.
Yeah, as far as, when we start talking about hydrostatic controls and whatnot that way, this 3-speed hydro, when I say that, it's high, medium, and low range. So depending on if you're doing some bucket work and it's lighter work or whatever, you can have it in high range and more ground speed. Or, when we're talking about being up at the land,
a lot of
hills, and then when you start talking about tilling on those hills, you're probably going to want to drop it down into, either medium or low range,
okay.
Depending on what it needs at that point in time. We were just talking about the cruise control option is to, if you are doing a food plot and you're, let's say, tilling, and you want to keep it at a solid speed, instead of having to hold your foot on the HST pedal, you can, find the speed that you like with the HST pedal and then bring the cruise control lever forward and that'll hold it there for you.
Okay.
So you don't have to, worry about
and
ground
some of the
speed
food plots
changing.
we have up there are big food plots up to like 5 acres. That's a
Right.
big food plot.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's going to take you some time. So, but that being said, all of the cabs that they have all come pre-wired with speakers, so they're all in there from the factory.
So you can sit and jam out?
Yeah,
I got AC?
Yes.
Okay.
Heat, air conditioning, so you can run this baby all year long.
So one last thing I want to talk to you about, and I know you're busy today and I appreciate your time, is that when I walked into the showroom, I saw financing.
So across the board on tractors, it's 0% for 60 months. Nobody has that right now. That's crazy.
Yes.
There are certain models that actually go 0% interest for 72 months right now.
Wow. And especially when you're looking at interest rates, what they're at right now.
Exactly.
That's a steal of a deal.
That's an awesome thing, and I don't know. I know that goes until the end of June. I don't know if they're going to extend it any further than that. We'll find out when the time comes. But as of right now, we have until the end of June to take advantage of that financing. And there's been a lot of people that have done that. And they walk in the door and they go, okay, what's the catch?
Right.
There really isn't
There's
a
no
catch.
catch.
It's true 0%. So it's a beautiful thing.
That's awesome. Hey, let's tell everybody where you guys are at.
Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, right off of 151. So
Absolutely awesome. You know, the big thing is too, besides the great service and the awesome location and all the inventory they have sitting here, they are a big supporter of our show, and we appreciate you guys taking care of our sponsors to keep us going and producing great TV shows. So again, if you guys are looking for an implement, it doesn't matter if it's a Kubota or if it's a Honda, a Polaris, or you're looking for a Steel, or again, a Skag lawnmower, make sure you come check out our friends here in Beaver Dam at POWERSPORTS.
There he is.
Oh, that's a giant. Here, take this. Oh, that's a nice fish. Holy moly! Woo! Lake of the Woods is an amazing place. The nature. The company. The lodging. The food. And the fishing. We enjoy each and every time we're up here. It is extremely hard to beat. Lake of the Woods. It is a giant. Oh, look at that, everybody. Holy man. Well, I'm excited. Let's go up to the lodge up here and get rid of our gear, and let's get out fishing.
Go fishing.
Oh, buddy, it's a giant. Yeah, that's what it's all about right there. Lake of the Woods.
Lake of the Woods, baby.
Oh. Sturgeon are on. They're biting. Did he just throttle it out of the rod holder? That's awesome. Oh, that's a giant. Here, take the net. Take the net. That's a nice fish. Holy moly! Woo! Nice job. Holy! That is a giant. That is a giant. Yeah.
Good job, boys. Cool. Sturgeon fishing up here has gotten really popular. We fish them in the spring through May 15th, and then we take a little bit of a break in the summertime. And then, of course, July 1, we fish them all summer long and into the fall. It's not that hard to fish. It's actually really relaxing. You take a no-roll sinker, usually 4 to 6 ounces in the river with a little bit of current, but a no-roll sinker with an 18-inch sturgeon rig. You can buy them up here. It's got about a 4 or 5-aught circle hook, and you load that with either crawlers or a combination of crawlers and frozen emerald shiners. And you find a hole in the river, and you pitch it out, you hang out for a half hour, and when they hit almost like a sucker or a carp or almost like a sunfish. You just tap it. And with that circle hook, you don't set the hook, you just tighten it up and pull, and the fight is on. It's very common to catch multiple sturgeon in a day. Very common to catch sturgeon that are 50 plus pounds. We get them up over 100 at times. Sturgeon fishing, if you have never done it, I'll tell you the Rainy River is an awesome place to sturgeon fish.
So folks, we're at the Rapid River in Clemson right now. This is one of the tributary rivers that comes into the Rainy River. And of course, in the springtime, a lot of it has to do with timing, as far as when do the rivers break, when do they not break. As you can see, this river is running, and there's a lot of muddy water that's getting pushed into the Rainy River. And what happens is, it's a timing thing. When you catch those walleyes, but once these rivers break and all that mud flows in, now it's time to go sturgeon fishing. That's why it's always nice to have sturgeon gear with you, even if you're going to go walleye fishing, because those sturgeon, they can use their eyes, they can use scent, that can be chocolate milk out there. And those sturgeon are going to find your worms and your frozen emerald shiners on your big hook.
See what we got, it's not a monster, but it's a start. Definitely seen a lot of people catching fish, and I got a burbot. Whoa! Now that to me is good eating right there, all the way.
That's lobster right there.
Right there. Now is burbot season open?
It is.
Well, that burbot season is going to be good for me, because I'll tell you what, That is incredible. Let's get on to something else. Look at the chunks of ice coming in. Hey everybody, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet. Hey, I'll tell you, this week we're up at Lake of the Woods. Up at Lake of the Woods, you have the Rainy River and you have over 42 miles of some awesome fishing. And it doesn't matter if you're looking for walleyes, you're looking for pike, you're looking for smallmouth, but it's a great way to, again, when you go on vacation and you're looking at coming up and staying at one of the resorts here, make sure you guys always check out the river, because it doesn't matter if the weather's a little bit nasty or you just enjoy fishing rivers. Definitely check out the Rainy River. Again, this week's tip of the week brought to you by our good friends up at Mike's Country Meats, the finest jerky on the planet.
Well, at least you got the right person on the rod. I know that fish is coming to the boat. We are struggling today ourselves.
You know, we've had some incredible shows that we've gotten out on the lake itself besides the great fishing in the Rainy River. I remember last summer we came up and we actually went up to the northwest angle and we actually took the boat all the way up there. And the amount of fish that we caught that first day we went up there was incredible. We basically were targeting walleyes, but by 10, 11 o'clock, we didn't need to catch any more walleyes.
Well, and if you remember, we were jig fishing in a flats area, a little bit of current going through, a few other boats around, and we were whacking those walleyes one after the other.
You know, for me, it's something when I say, you know, that's enough walleyes, let's go do something else, because there's typically never enough walleye to catch in one day, especially in half of a morning. That, I mean, it was incredible, the numbers of fish, and there were some nice fish.
It got to a point where we were swinging 18s and 19s, and we're like, you know, should we try something else? So then what we did is after we caught so many walleyes, we decided, you know, let's go fishing pike. Let's go. There's so many big pike up here. And, you know, we figured out real quick, there weren't a lot of pike on the shorelines. So what we did then is we said, you know what, where we caught all those walleyes, I got to feel there's some big pike mixed in. So we put on pretty good sized cranks and we pulled that flats area and we kept catching walleye. But then all of a sudden, bang.
Monster pike that you caught. That was probably one of the biggest pike that I've ever experienced. Definitely, for sure, open water fishing.
And we didn't have
that
a
was
net.
a giant.
We didn't have a net.
Don't blame that on me.
Hey, Shotgun in the Kitchen here, Leroy lunchtime. I am trying something I never did before. I was at Leroy's picking up cheese curd and I'm like, I'm gonna try. I'm loving them, you know, having a cold beer once in a while, having some cheese curds. I'm gonna try this. So I've been looking at a few recipes I found on the internet and I combined like 4 of them together to see if I can come up with this. But I got buttermilk, baking soda, garlic salt, baking all-purpose flour, eggs, and cheese curds. And we got the chard all up to temperature. The hardest part of this whole recipe, I think, is getting these cheese in this batter. I stirred it all up already. I got a little garlic salt in there. I probably had more than what I should, but I kind of like the flavor of it. Stir the stuff up and get it in the chard and see if we can make it happen. Going down. And everybody loves them. I don't know anybody that doesn't like cheese curds. They're getting crisp. You cook them until you see the cheese starting to pop out. Then you know the batter is cooked. All right, cheese is bubbling out. We gotta get these out of here. Oh, look at that mess. That looks good. That's what you're looking at right there. Nice gooey cheese curd. Yep. Shotgun in the Kitchen, Leroy lunchtime. Cheese curds from Leroy Meats. A little homemade batter on there. Boy, wait till you guys try this recipe.
Hey Joel, you know the other thing too about Lake of the Woods is, again, of course, the Rainy River, which we've talked about. You have 42 miles of navigable water that you can fish to. But the other part is, you know, not everybody has a boat. And the great part about coming to Lake of the Woods and bringing your family or bringing your friends is that almost every resort has a number of charter boats.
Well, you know, and I'll tell you, even people that do have boats, they get intimidated by big water. They don't know the water. Maybe they're coming from a long distance. They don't want to trailer their boat that far, and they say, you know what, I'm on vacation. I want to make life easy on me, and I want to have success. So what they'll do is they'll come up, whether it's a family, group of guys, group of gals, business group, whatever the case might be. They come up. This charter boat normally takes to 6 people, but our resorts will take 2s and 3s and 4s and mix them up. They come up, they have a great dinner when they first get up here. The next morning they wake up, have breakfast. They step aboard at about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Makes it pretty easy.
Rods, reels, tackle, bait, licensed charter captain, everything's included. They're gonna put you on the fish. You're gonna whack walleyes for the day. They're gonna bring in about 5 o'clock just in time for a happy hour, and they're even gonna clean your fish for you.
Now that sounds like a heck of a good vacation to me.
Well, I remember when we had that charter boat trip, you and I did.
Yeah, I had fun that day.
Wasn't that a fun day?
That was a fun day. It was nice
at,
not to worry about anything.
Oh, that was fun. And then if you remember, we fished a couple different spots, but I remember we finished up in that Morts Point Gap area pulling spinners. Remember that?
And we crushed them.
We crushed them.
Before I usually go to any place, I like to sit down and I like to do some research and I like to look at a map. And when you start looking at a map of Lake of the Woods and the amount of structure that you have available to you out there, it just makes it a lot more fun because there is so many fish here and at times they're so easy to catch. So it's kind of nice to have, like you call it and I call it, you make a milk run up and then you just go from this spot to this spot to this spot. And some of the easiest fishing that you can imagine and enjoyable, because a lot of times I'm not a big troller, but I love to pull spinners. And last summer we were up there and we did that milk, we did your milk run, and it was incredible. Let's kind of tell everybody about really that experience.
You know what we did? We started out today, we're going to pull spinners. This is in the summer, and pulling spinners in Lake of the Woods in the summer is just deadly.
It's
Walleys just love it. It's nice. You're covering a little bit of water. You're using typically a night crawler with a 2-hook harness and a bottom bouncer. Easy fishing, but very effective fishing. What we did, we started out in kind of a flats area. A lot of charter boats are out there catching walleyes, and we caught walleyes. And I said after about a half a day, I said, Larry, we can keep picking away at walleyes. We'll have a nice show, but you know what? I know so many spots. Let's just go from spot to spot to spot, and eventually we're going to connect. And what happened?
Oh, we connected.
We're pulling spinners up in 6 feet of water.
And it's hard to believe them fish are up that shallow,
in
but
the
boy.
summer.
Yeah, I mean, that's, and what a great thing too, when you start thinking about bringing your wife and you bring in your kids, is that, again, kind of going back to the spinner thing, it really is very effective, but it's real easy to teach somebody to how to pull spinners, and you're catching a lot of fish.
Spinner colors, gold, golden pink, golden orange, and those bright colors in the stained water, and you're gonna have a level of success even if you don't know what you're doing.
Hey, I'll tell you what, everybody, again, for a great experience, and that's really what life is all about, in building memories with your family. Make sure you guys at least come up here once, because I'll guarantee you it won't be the only time.
I guide pretty much over 300 days a year, and the people that I bring into my boat aren't just customers and friends, they're actually family. And I always try to keep these people as comfortable as I can and safe, and I cannot think of a better product than a Warrior boat. Why is their customer service so good? Because they know that you're part of their family. Come join the Warrior family.
Out in about 32 feet of mud, there was a little rock pile that came up just a little bit. And any time you go from one bottom kind of composition to another, whether it's mud to sand or sand to rock or mud to rock, there can be fish holding there. And this was a deeper spot. I knew it could hold big fish. So what we did is we went around it, we went upstream of it, upwind of it, and we came back with our spinners. And as soon as we hit that structure, Larry,
it was game on.
And
you caught that
toad. I knew it was a good one.
Yeah, you guys got to take a look at this fish. This fish is absolutely a toad right there. And I'll tell you, man, when you have that opportunity to go out and catch numbers of fish, and then have the opportunity once you've are done with that, you want to switch gears a little bit, and you want to, I hate to say this, you want it to slow down a little bit, right? You know, because you do get sick of catching fish sometimes. And it's a sad thing to say, but when you have, I mean, it's not like that every day, but when you have that opportunity and things are working just right, and you go out and you catch 40, 50, 60 walleyes with a couple of people in the boat, sometimes you want to kind of take a little bit of a break, but you don't want to stop fishing, so you go after big fish.
Yep.
And obviously when you're thinking about big fish, you're not looking at numbers, you're looking at catching 1 or 2 or 3 big fish off of a spot.
Yeah, and you know, Lake of the Woods is known as a big fish water. You know, why does Lake of the Woods have so many big walleyes? You know, part of it is we got the right gene in our system. You got to have a big fish gene, and we got it.
Got forage.
We got the forage is a big part of it. You know, a lot of times if there's ever a fish problem in a lake, it's not a fish problem, it's a forage problem. And we have so many kinds of forage in our lake. I mean, emerald shiners, crayfish, perch minnows, perch, bloodworms, different kind of hatches that come out of the mud in the summer, and of course tulibies. And those tulibies are the third thing that really make those walleyes and pike big. In fact, Larry, it's kind of interesting. When a walleye in Lake of the Woods becomes about 25 inches or 5 pounds, they really shift their diet and start targeting tulibies. In a nutshell, it takes about 10 years for a walleye in Lake of the Woods to become 5 pounds or 25 inches.
Okay.
It takes another 10 years to get to that 30, but it doubles in size.
Oh, that's a beast. Nice job.
Hey everybody, one of my favorite parts of our job is to travel around the country, and I can't think of a better place than Lake of the Woods. And I'll tell you what, Joe, had an awesome day with you up here. You know, there's so much to talk about, so many things to do here. You know what, let's tell people the easiest way to learn more things about Lake of the Woods.
You know, our website really has everything on it. It's got our resorts, how to fish, what kind of fish different times of the year. Everything's on it. Check out lakeofthewoodsmn.com for more information.
Hey, you guys do fishing reports pretty much every day, but you have a weekly subscription that comes out too, right?
You know what we do? We do actually. We have a very active Facebook page, keep people up to date, really daily on that. And then the other thing is we do a newsletter. And our newsletter, Larry, not only puts out a weekly fishing report that's very up to date, but it also puts out 3 articles about Lake of the Woods or fishing or something to that effect, and also an outdoors recipe.
Oh, that's absolutely excellent. Hey, Joe, thank you again for everything, like always. Hey, and thank you guys and gals for joining us this week. Like we do each and every week, we definitely want to thank all of our military men and women for the great service they have given us and continue to give us, along with all of our firefighters and paramedics, and no doubt all of our law enforcement agents. It is a great day to be alive, and thank you guys again for joining us this week. And the best part is, we're going to see you guys and gals again next week, and we'll catch you on the flip side, right?